What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders, brought to you today on the Russell Street Report, courtesy of D&L Tinting. Go check out dltinting.com for all your window tinting, headlight restoration, car detailing needs, all those good things. Go check out dltinting.com. Multiple locations across the Baltimore area to take care of you and your car needs. We are going to be talking about getting ready for this Bengals matchup and taking a look at what has been one of the best features of the Ravens offense and how that matches up with the Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys are excited for this matchup, first divisional matchup of the year, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment down below. Helps the channel, helps me. I appreciate all of you. Let's get into some of the numbers. So the Cincinnati Bengals have allowed the 8th most rush yards. Now, I will preface this by saying they have had some health issues. They're getting a guy like BJ Hill back this week. Not sure how much of a difference it's going to make. Trey Hendrickson is healthy. He's obviously one of their best defensive players, so all those things do matter. I think they're going to get a little bit better, but comparing to their previous opponents where the run game has popped off, the Cowboys have allowed the 7th most, Bills the 3rd most. Obviously, through 4 weeks, those two rankings increasing quite a bit because they did just play Derrick Henry, who put up 150 something and 199 against the Bills. So likely the Bills have allowed the 3rd most because they just got gashed by Derrick Henry. So we'll see where the Bengals land after this game. But some of the running back outputs: Chuba Hubbard, 18 carries, 104 yards, touchdown with 57 yards allowed in A-gap runs. That's really what we're going to be focusing on. Pacheco in week 2, 19 for 90 with 68 allowed up the middle. Austin Eckler took a 24-yard TD in the A-gap. Ramondre Stevenson, so you guys are going to see what I mean. These got classified as outside runs. When we go look at them, I tweeted this with the numbers before I did the film, and you're going to see that a lot of these were cutback runs. So, even though they are going through outside gaps, they're actually more inside runs. We'll get into it when I explain it. But things are looking good for the Ravens. You're going to see kind of the theme of this video. What I want you guys to take away is the type of defense the Cincinnati Bengals are, and that's really a two-gap defensive line where they're not attacking downhill, they're not penetrating, they're not playing the way the Ravens play. For example, if you look at the way Matabike, Travis Jones, Michael Pierce, those guys attack gaps, that's not how they play. They play the traditional two-gap where they're going to pop guys, pop guards, pop centers, and read, and then try and react to whatever direction they're running. That has helped them in the past with option concepts that the Ravens have used, but I think it's going to hurt them against this new run game staple, which is, a zone heavy with some power mixed in. So we'll get into exactly what I'm talking about here. So you're going to see Stevenson, first run here, inside zone, he's going to cut it back. And this is really important because my video I did on the run game from last week really focused on Derrick Henry exploiting these cutback runs. And so this is a real opportunity. So you're going to see it's inside zone to the left. So offensive line is working left, and there's that kind of two-gap ability where he's going to pop and try and read. So he's trying to, rather than, penetrate into one gap, they basically want to pop up, read which direction they're coming relative to the two gaps that they're protecting, and then react. And you see BJ Hill ends up going inside. That forces the cutback. So this is where the Ravens do have some opportunities to attack them to their strength. Now we're back under center here. We're going to, I think, see another zone concept here. But you can see the Bengals are out here in heavy. They have a safety down in the box, 24 over there. I think that's Von Bell. They got a 4-man line with 3 linebackers, and they're just going to run this again to the backside of their blocking concepts, and watch what I want you guys to focus on is watch how these defensive tackles. And again, this is when the Bengals were a lot healthier, so I'm not sure how much the return of players are going to help them, but they're just going to get washed. So zone concept going that way because they're reading gaps and trying to react. You can see the Bengals have two defensive tackles and a linebacker, facing the wrong direction. And so that's the type of stuff that I think is going to help them. Less attacking if you compare to what the Cincinnati Chiefs did to the Baltimore Ravens. Linebackers coming downhill, attacking, completely different style of defense. What I want you to focus on here is BJ Hill, number 92 right here over top. He's kind of lined up as a 2-eye technique right here. So he's going to pop and he's going to read and then Ramondre Stevenson's just going to cut off of that. And again, this is that 2-gap system that they're running. I'm not sure how well this is going to work. They basically end up in a situation with poor linebacker play. So if we're 2-gapping here, we now have 2 linebackers committed to the inside, and this B gap here is completely unattended to, and that's just Stevenson cutting off. So if the Bengals are going to make these types of lazy mistakes, that is what Derrick Henry does so well. He sees those, he cuts back, he hits open gaps, something that's just going to play into their favor. We're going to get an inside zone run, and again, we're focusing on these defensive tackles getting washed, so they're just going to get pushed down the line. Again, as we get to our cutback lane, we have defensive tackles over here just getting moved down. Massive cutback lane. That's Derrick Henry territory right there. Goes for, I think this one went for 6-7. So, efficient running for the New England Patriots in this game. Back up the middle, and we're just going to miss a tackle outside. But again, the focus here, attacking at the point of attack. The Bengals, you can see popping right here. They're not penetrating. They're never moving beyond the line of scrimmage. They're always popping, trying to read, and it creates opportunities for Stevenson to make a read and then get to a cutback lane, versus, again, what the Chiefs did, where they were a lot more attack-oriented, and by being in that attack mode, it meant that if a block was missed, which was happening a lot with the Ravens blocking scheme early, they were making those contact points in the backfield rather than, at the line of scrimmage and then getting running backs open into open space. Here we're just going to see a power concept, so you guys know the drill on this. Actually, this isn't power, is it? Is this trap? Yep, this is going to be a trap. My apologies, folks. So you're going to get a trap concept here. So you're going to see right here 2 trap blocks, a lot like the crunch run that the Ravens scored on for the 87-yard touchdown. So you're going to get 2 traps on the inside, and that's just going to open, but again, kicking those defensive tackles out, running easily through this gap. Open touchdown for Austin Eckler. These defensive tackles just soft at the point of attack, not attacking, not moving downfield, easily getting out leveraged by the and Joseph Osai here. He's going to be kind of the main culprit because he's going to slant inside. They kind of have again in this gap control offense or defense, you're going to see this would be called like a Liz, right, where it's kind of a left gap step. So as soon as the snap goes, you see right there, from this side of the line, they both step, and then the linebackers are supposed to go against their grain, and Osai just gets kicked out right there by 67, opens up that gap, easily run through. So, that's just getting out-muscled, out-physicaled. That's what the Ravens have done so well to their opponents. Now we get into this Carolina game that just passed, where Chuba Hubbard had a lot of success inside. You're going to see, again, what's happening on this. We're getting those defensive tackles washed again. So, moving them downfield, backside block, just a piss poor play here from the 3-tech on the backside. He's slanting to the right, and he puts himself in a position right here. I mean, he's slanting into their blocking scheme. This should be a money play, but they're never penetrating. And so by never penetrating, he just works himself upfield for some reason, and Chuba Hubbard's going to absolutely exploit that. So, this is an opportunity. As much as I've criticized the Ravens run blocking from their guards specifically, just the way these defensive tackles play, I think it sets up really well to play in their strength. We're going to blow off again. They're trying to anchor double teams. They're not penetrating gaps. Like we just talked about in those plays against the Patriots, no one's ever in the inside moving beyond the line of scrimmage. And right there, you get the combo blocks into the second level. So Logan Wilson, 55, is there. Center's going to get off that block and into him. Third level has to come up, make a tackle. Better tackle there, still goes for 6-7. On the touchdown here, again, going back through that left, or that'd be their right guard. We're going to kick out those defensive tackles, just run through contact. Their defensive tackles do very little in the run game. It's relying on second, third level defenders to step up and make blocks. We're going to absolutely demolish here. Watch 97 on the combo block. They're just going to actually send him off balance. Ace block there. Send him off balance. Center getting into the second level. They're going to run through contact. That's an easy 5 yards right there. This is just kind of the name of the game. Defensive tackles not penetrating, trying to 2-gap, and being taken advantage of. I think this sets up really well. Here we're in, an old school kind of 3-4 base. They are set up in heavy, controlling these gaps. They got a 0 tech and then 2 3 techs, 2 outside linebackers, 2 linebackers. So they're matching 12 personnel. The Panthers have 2 tight ends here on the weak side, and this should match up really well for them. And yet they're just going to absolutely blow these defensive tackles off the ball. Again, focus on the line of scrimmage right here. It's that hard white line. There goes the snap. Nobody is beyond it. Nobody. Well, I guess technically one of the edge players. But just easy gains. This is a completely exploitable matchup. I will be very disappointed if the Ravens run game doesn't keep going. And look at this man right here. This is the look of a man possessed that's licking his chops at this setup. So key takeaways for you guys. 2-gap scheme should match up well with blowing defensive tackles off the ball, getting combo blocks into the second level. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this matchup. Hit this like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And thank you to DNL Tinting for sponsoring this video.